What's up, damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to Role-Playing Games, to this merry old corner in the internet where we like to discuss about RPGs. If you like the content, if you like to have these conversations with merry old James, I would very much like to invite you, like always, please hit that like button. It really helps me like you have no idea. And also, most of the people that watches my content are in fact not subscribed to my channel, so I know that you're here, dude. You came back, so might as well subscribe, right? You can find weekly videos for your favorite video games right now on Elden Ring. But yeah, we have lots of RPG discussions in here. Now, little disclaimer before we move on. I'll have timestamps in the video so that you can jump all of this stuff if you're not interested in it. But these videos take way too much to write and to edit. I know that I am not the best narrator in YouTube or in the world for that matter, but I do enjoy exploring the darkest corners of the games that we love to visit, and now I have the means to share my discoveries with you guys. I like to write this kind of videos, I like to make this kind of videos, but you might not. And if you might not, then please do tell me in the comments below that if you would like me to continue this kind of videos as a series. Like I said, it's way too much effort. Also, this video is very spoilery, so do bear in mind of that. But I mean, this is a lore video. You know what you're getting into from the very moment that you read that little thumbnail. That being said, let's begin, because I am about to tell you the story of Caelid and Radahn as well. Not Radahn, maybe a little of Radahn as well. Caelid was once a thriving land, home of sorcerers, knowledge and lore, ultimately devastated by Malenia's Scarlet rot during the War of the Shattering, where lords fought each other in claim of the Elden Lord title. But where there is light, there is also dark. Despite being a place of knowledge and wisdom, Caelid, Aeonia, holds one of the darkest secrets and truths behind its visage. Below Fort Gale there is a prison. In said prison, tortured souls can be found, and on the very depths of the dungeon, a warrior, a gladiator, awaiting its final fate. You can also find in one of the cells this wakizashi, a weapon of a foreign warrior. You can also buy the rich armor set from one of the merchants in Caelid. Travelers from beyond these realms find themselves trapped in the prison. Gladiators are made to fight in the arena, which, as of today, still stands ominous and opulent on one of the edges of the land. And it seems that the gladiators were not only made to fight to entertain the common people of the land, but they were also tortured, perhaps to employ them as weapon, or perhaps to entertain the people even more. Though he has stifled his panic within the dark confines of his helmet, he rampages as if driven mad when agitated by bloodshed or the humming of insects. This mad soldier is all that is left of a broken gladiator. You may have noticed, by exploring the vast fields of the lands between, that word flies in the air of factions and rupture between the people who inhabit these lands. There are indeed many factions of sorcerers, and one of them have their hometown in Caelid, the Selians. They were a religious cult that dedicated themselves to the art of assassination. In one of the rooftops of the town you can find this staff missing its glintstone, wielded by sorcerers who believe that discovery comes through acts of asceticism. This staff is only capable of casting invincibility sorceries. That is reason enough for some to wield it. The ascetic refers to the act of living secluded from society, often in a religious way, but more specifically to the act of discipline and mastery of perfection by dedicating the body, mind, and soul to your craft. In this case, sorcery. And the purpose of said sorcery is the following. The Selian sorcerers were assassins. It is said that they often hunted their fellows. More than sorcerers, the Selian were monks. Their cult and religion was the perfection of assassination through sorceries, hiding blades, concealing yourself, attacking from the shadows. That is the way of the Selians. As you traverse the deserted streets of Selia, you can still get ambushed by the husks of the remaining Selian assassins. But they are not the only ones to be found in this haunted place. There are also nobles from the capital. Tanned leather coat adorned with fine gold embroidery, travel attire worn by nobles in the capital, and the belonging of a family which claims a knight as an ancestor. Abandoning their birthplace after the Shattering, these undead wanderers are the pitiful product of an ending life. It is only natural to find them here, for when the war began, they sought shelter. And what better place than the one you visited so much to plan your assassinations and your schemes? This is also where Radahn studied sorceries in his youth. Radahn is the son of Radahn. Proof of that is his mighty red hair. Radahn inherited the furious, flaming red hair of his father Radahn, and is fond of his heroic implications. I was born a champion's cub. Now I am the lord of the battlefield's lion. He was a mighty warrior, one of those who contested the battlefield for the right to be called Elden Lord. He fought Malenia to a standstill where she unleashed the rod onto Caelid when she saw the battle near to be lost. What's more impressive is that he probably did not even fight at his full potential. When he was young, he studied the gravity sorceries in Selia to one specific purpose. The Red Lion General wielded gravitational powers which he learned in Selia during his younger days. Also, he would never have to abandon his beloved, but scrawnies did. Those powers were taught to him by one of the Alabaster Lords in Selia. When this happened, he also learned about a terrible fate that was to chastise the tranquility of the lands between. And so, he decided to intervene and fight the stars. The mightiest hero of the demigods confronted the falling stars alone, and thus did he crush them, his conquest sealing the very fate of the stars. Radahn prevented the stars from falling in land, and he was still doing so while fighting Malenia. But that is not all. When the Scarlet rot invaded his flesh, when it rotted his entrails, Radahn, General, the warrior, he lost every last piece of his will, confounded to be a mere dog eating the flesh and the fresh corpses of his comrades on the battlefield. And yet, he still keeps holding back the stars from falling. Some sense of duty still remains inside of him, preventing from letting harm come to his land. That iron will is shared by his men. One of his most trusted commanders studied with him, Olga. The longest-serving member of the Redmane Knights, Olga studied techniques to manipulate gravity alongside Radahn, and you can still find him, unbending, unwilling to let the Scarlet rot take away his land, his fort, defending that precise fort, even when his sanity is long gone, fighting off the rot so that it would not taint the rest of the land. Whether he remains conscious or his corpse is all that remains, it has fight in it still. Not only the commanders were the ones to remain unbroken on their tasks. When they were driven to defeat by Malenia's Scarlet rot, the Redmane Knights burned the crest on the left breast of their armor to indicate their resolve. Alas, the home, I shan't see you again. For our duty is to remain here, a bulwark against the blight. And you can see them fighting still, alongside the commanders, fighting to prevent the rot to spread beyond Caelid. 'Tis probably them we have to thank for, that the rot has not tainted the rest of the land. And if you fight and defeat General Radahn, you will learn that even while he lost sanity, much like his men fighting the rot endlessly, mindlessly, Radahn was holding the stars still. One cannot help but wonder, what would have happened if Radahn fought Malenia without having to hold back? A true soldier. Many so admire his valor, and that of his men, for such feats of courage, determination, discipline, to want to defend the land even when everything was lost, even their sanity. But is it still to be admired if the land you're trying to protect was already rotted from the very core before the rot arrived? That is indeed something to ponder in thought. Anyways, that is the lore of General Radahn, his men, and Caelid. A very, very sad story indeed, but I mean, it is what it is, dude. FromSoft has a record. They have their credentials on making sad stories. Like I said, if you enjoy these little conversations with RPJames, if you enjoyed this kind of format of video, please help me with a like in the video, share the video, share the word. And if you want to keep watching this kind of stuff, please let me know in the comments below. And remember to tell me what kind of lore would you like to see next. That being said, I hope that if no one has told you today that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, remember that you are indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. Remember to stay safe out there, like the video and subscribe before you close the door. Now we see you damn gorgeous and beautiful, beautiful gamers in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.